Hey, it's Coach Kathy. Today is day 27 of Countdown to Wakaya Perfection's launch. And I shared with you yesterday that Mr. David Gilmour, the man behind Fiji Water, started a new company, or actually took his Wakaya Perfection products that had been on the high-end stores, Oprah Winfrey raving for 6 years. He then put it into a network marketing platform, the first time ever for this 85-year-old gentleman, his 12th company, and this being the love of his life. And I wanted to share with you all the prayers that went into the culmination of Mr. Gilmour bringing us the network marketing arena. So I'm actually coming to you today from my prayer closet. It's so weird. I have a small 600 square foot apartment I love dearly. It's incredible being downsized. Absolutely love it. And the first time I've ever had the perfect prayer closet. So prayers are answered. God is so real and faithful and always there. We may think there's no, yes, and maybe, but when we turn our hearts to God and really believe with all of our heart that what he says in the Bible is true today as it was in the years before, then we will see mountains move. And that's what's happened with this company. That's what's happened with, with my prayer being answered. I was living a life of not being fulfilled, not feeling like I was being a contribution to others. Gone through over a year of difficult recovery from 3 shoulder surgeries, have been living in Utah, helping take care of parents, moved back to get help healing, living with my daughter and her family for 5 months before I found this perfect home and was healthy enough to be on my own again. So the prayer was, Lord, I'm not being of service to others. I want that purpose. I want that fulfillment. And I did come along some companies that I got involved with and got on the organic crusade, which was the best health thing for me in March. But I still wasn't feeling that, that desire, that hunger, that reason to get up in the morning and take action, because I didn't have then a vehicle to help bless people without any reservations. So if you've been in a company or in one and you've got a few reservations, that keeps you stuck from reaching out to people because they're just like, oh, this is just an area that I'm uncomfortable with, whether it's artificial ingredients or some of the rules and things that are required of distributors, etc. So anyway, that's where I was when I was introduced to this. I was about to say no to my friend, my casual friend on Facebook, Diana, a fellow nurse. I was about to say no just because stuff was going on. I've got a disease that I was really battling, and I just from my heart respect her, honor the request to take a look at this company, and my life has been changed. The funny thing is, Diana had that same feeling when the person Bethany shared with her, I want to share something with you. It's like, no. But God just touches our heart and just says, do listen. So let me get on to the prayers of this man and the prayers of Todd Smith, the co-founder, as well as one of the key leaders and tremendous friends, Barb and Dave Pitcock. So how did this all happen? What I was able to do in August, I went to my 40th class reunion, and it was just perfect timing. July 11th, I had joined Wakaya, first part of August, going back to Utah, and that's where the home office is. So there was an opportunity to go down during the weekday and visit with the co-founder, Todd Smith, who has an organic, he's a silent partner with an organic Chiku restaurant, which is unbelievable, but it's Meet the Co-Founder. So went down, there was 7 other ambassadors, and I had a guest there as well, and had a chance to sit right next to Todd, enjoying this incredible food. So if you're near American Fork, you've got to check out Chiku. So sitting next to him, and the first question, and the others had already been there, so they knew Todd, so it was really sweet that they honored me with my questions. So my first question was, Todd, tell me, how did it happen? Is it that you're co-founder? So Todd shared that he connected, and I won't go into how that connection happened yet, with Rachel, who is one of 2 gals who is working directly with Mr. David Gilmour with the Wakaya Perfection products that were out in the high retail outlets. And they had a conversation, and Rachel had shared that the heart of David, the story, was not getting told in all these outlets. A lot of the workers were just pointing to an aisle and not sharing why it was that that turmeric was so powerful and what they needed, that it's 500% better, the whole Wakaya Island, all that wasn't happening. And that was really on Mr. Gilmour's heart. And that was his prayer. I want this out there in more homes getting told, but it's not happening. Rachel, she shared that. He's like, it sounds like you need a network marketing platform. And she's like, well, what's network marketing? And he described that. Imagine not the two of you, which Rachel and Jennifer Halliday was out sharing with all the outlets and doing home shopping network and that. How about having 10,000 individuals in homes every night across the nation sharing the story of the Wakaya Perfection products? And she's like, oh my gosh, that's what we need. So Todd connected with the trustee, with Mr. Gilmour, had conversations. They flew him out to New York, where that's one of David's homes, and they had dinner. Well, I got to the restaurant, and he said it was kind of that mafia feeling where there's security guard after security guard, and you keep going further into the restaurant. And finally he got back, and there's the trustee and Mr. Gilmour, and just a wonderful introduction. And Mr. Gilmour said, so Todd, tell me about yourself. And Todd, kind of like what I did with Todd, was he was like, well, I'd like to hear about you. And Mr. Gilmour, Todd shared like a little glimmer in the eye, goes, we know all about you. And imagine that, right? You have a billionaire who keeps himself protected, has those layers of protection. He's not going to sit down with just anybody. He did his due diligence. He did his research. He did his background checks on the man who is Todd Smith. And there he was sitting with him. And Mr. Gilmour shared his desire and his passion and his prayer about these products and getting out into more homes because of the health and wellness benefits. And that's what Mr. Gilmour has been, a lifelong health advocate. So a great conversation went on, and with a handshake, Todd is, I'll need 6 million of raw ingredients, and that happened. So that was the start of Wakaya Perfection, the network marketing company. Now this is it too. I want to share this. So Todd Smith had been praying. He went into restaurants. He went into, other avenues, but his heart was in network marketing. Mr. Gilmour had been praying for a platform for getting his products out there, praying about that. David Pitcock was a part of a company that actually was Todd Smith was. They weren't in the same organization and team, but they had met each other and really had a high respect for each other. David had stepped down as well with that and was really pursuing, what can we do? What can we do? We want to get that magic of what network marketing is, but we need to have the right people and products. And there was one prayer that was going on that I forgot to mention to you. After Todd met with Mr. Gilmour, he was going to the tarmac. It was about 1 o'clock New York time in the morning. And as he's walking on the tarmac, the thought of an individual just penetrated his mind. And this is an individual by the name of Rick Anson, who 2.5 years ago had connected with Todd regarding a bottle he was developing that was able to filter out tap water. And he shared it with Todd, knowing he was with a company that maybe he had some influence that the company would want to bring it on board. Well, the company denied it, said, no, we're not interested. So that was that conversation 2.5 years ago. On the tarmac, Todd Smith thinks of Rick Anson. He calls Rick right then. It's 11 o'clock Boise time. Rick answers Todd Smith, hey, Rick, you know that bottle thing that you shared with me? Do you still have it available? Get this. Rick shared, by the way, just yesterday, I turned down the 3rd company. Now, just a little hindsight, 3 companies is Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and Pfizer. All wanted this baby to market their products. But instead of putting in this little chamber on the top, because see, it filters out chlorine and chemicals, right? It's on another video that I did. And I've got my detox cup in here. So rather than putting healthy things in here, they wanted to put their sugar, their stuff that is awful for our bodies, and the reason Rick developed this bottle in the first place. He did not want to go there. Now let me tell you, he turned down tons of money. The hardest decisions he and his wife had to make was saying no to those companies. But just a day before the phone call from Todd, he denied and turned down the third company. So Todd says, "Do you still have it available?" He goes, "Yes, I do." And Todd goes, "I think we have the perfect place for it." So another prayer answered. Unbelievable. So that's the birth of the Bula bottle becoming part of Wakaya Perfection, using some of the products from Wakaya Island, the pink Fijian ginger. That's 300 times more power, 300% more powerful than anything else on the market with ginger, is in all of our Bula caps. So the Nutri caps for the Bula bottle. So anyway, there's more videos about that, but I just want to add that other answered prayers. So all these people are praying, right? And they all come together to make Wakaya Perfection the network marketing company. It's so profound. It's so, it just is. When you see the small details, and even just the details that led to Rachel and Todd Smith having that conversation initially, it just blows your mind. It just is goosebumps that God is so involved. The integrity of these people, the compassion. We're in pre-launch, but it doesn't even seem like that. Everything around it is like a 15-year-old company, established. We have mega brands. It's just everything about it. It just takes my breath away that I'm a part of this. And I would welcome you to be a part of this. You may be wishing you had the magic. You may be wishing that your bills were not just paid, but that you had those hopes and those dreams of doing things with your family and friends well beyond what you ever imagined. And I'm not giving any promises for creating wealth, but I will tell you that this is the right vehicle with the right people. Our subsequent days, I'll also talk about other aspects of why this could be the perfect home for you. But you won't know if you don't take that first step, right? So at least the first step is, let's connect, let's talk, let's have a conversation. Pre-launch is going to be over October 13th. You have until the end of September to become a founder. And that's, the time's going to go by. You may see this video later and go, darn, I missed the founder. Well, guess what? You can still be a part of this in the early times. And this video may be 5 years down the road, you're taking a look at it. It's still going to be amazing. So sharing the story of Mr. David Gilmour, Todd Smith, who's a co-founder, the whole company, the whole leadership, and you being a part of that. How would that be? How would that be? So let's connect. Let's make those dreams and our hopes come to life. And I would love to link arms with you. So let's connect. It's 100% okay if you say, after you take a look, it's not for you. That's all right. So God bless. Take care. From my prayer closet to your home, Coach Kathy out. Bye-bye.